why everyone should strive for heaven. Most people think it's like a selfish thing to strive for heaven. I used to think the same thing, honestly, when I was an atheist agnostic. Even as a Christian, I really didn't care about heaven. I remember once God spoke to me and told me he was just being a good father. He said that this is when I was going through depression. He said that I should focus on the treasures in heaven. And I remember laughing after he said that to me. I was laughing because I knew God knew me. So if God knows me, he knows I don't care about the things of heaven. I don't care about the treasures of heaven. So I started to laugh, but when I looked back on it, I realized God was just being a good father and he was giving me good advice because I think God knows the future. So he knew at that time, because this was early into after the breakup, he knew that it was going to be downhill for me for a while. And so he was warning me in a way and letting me know, like, you're not going to enjoy this upcoming season or maybe these upcoming seasons. And instead of dwelling on the things here on earth, dwell on the things in the spiritual world, heaven. And I didn't understand it at the time because I was fixated on my family. But God was bitten. Why people should literally focus on heaven is because down here you're a slave to so many things, and the only way you can be set free is by God. And then when you do get set free by God, more times than not, you end up suffering because the world's against you. I can spit knowledge and wisdom to many people. I can tell people the truth 24/7. Most people do not care, will not listen. I could help you, I could give you everything. Most people will still spit in my face. I've helped so many people, and they've stabbed me in my back so many times. It's crazy. Most people don't even understand me, and it's because I know something they don't. So instead of looking at me like maybe this guy knows what he's talking about, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. Honestly, humble yourself and realize like heaven should be your goal. This life isn't your only life. You couldn't have a life after this one. And if you focus too much on this one, you just become a slave to the things that are around you. This is why everyone complains every day about life and how terrible it is. It's not terrible because life is bad. It's terrible because it's set up that way. Like this whole thing down here is a setup, and we low key allowed it. We can stop most things at any time. We just choose not to. We choose not to care. Choose to continue to carry on with our lives and work these slave jobs. Most more times than not, jobs you don't even like. Shooting for something else you probably don't end up liking, but it makes more money. That's going to take more of your time away from your family and your kids. Most families are broken for this very reason. It's the same reason why I was planning a certain escape for my family and was leading my family in a certain way because I understood that freedom is more important than temporary gain, temporary happiness, or temporary fun. And so I was working in a way to produce that for my family, so eventually we can have fun with God at the helm, of course. I was Christian and when I was in a relationship, so I always look at it like Satan came in and took it, uh, my family. I didn't always look at it like that, but that's how I look at it now. And I think to myself like sometimes I'm very hard on myself, and I think too much. And I can't help it because that's who I am. And I think I'm like I always like I said I'm just hard on myself. I think like oh what could I have done? Should have done this differently. Uh, all day constant. It's not as much now as it was before, but which I thank God for revealing certain things, truths to me. But I miss my kids. Honestly, I miss them so much. Like there's just days where I'm just holding on. There's just days where I'm holding on and I'm thinking like I never should have lost them. This is why heaven's beautiful. Because there's no suffering, nothing but peace and love, nothing but goodness, no slavery, no forms of slavery. Everything's gonna be good in heaven. Everything's gonna be peaceful in heaven. Because God is good. Thanks for listening, guys. You guys take care. And God bless.